welcome to another Preptober video. I'm Edwina, a newbie writer. So today I thought we'd have a quick chat about what planning I'm doing for NaNoWriMo. The first thing I've been using is the NaNoWriMo 101, which I've printed off the website. In there's all sorts of things about characters, world building, and there's a whole section on planning and timing and that sort of thing. Also, if you saw my last video, I'm also using the Sarah Cannon prepping system as well. Let me just find it for you. And that's free on her website. So I'm using that as well as the official NaNoWriMo one. And I'm going to show you my planner setup, what spreads I'm using, and that sort of thing. Now, I'm using a toolkit which Rachel Stevens, a UK author, has used, and she also has a free workshop on, which I will link below. And her main premise is basically you need four things. You need a manuscript, so that could be handwritten, it could be on your computer, however you want to put words down. You need a bullet journal, because she's an avid bullet journaler. You need a system for your plot. So whichever plot method you use, you need a copy of that plot. Now, she uses the plot embryo, and she's a very big advocate of the plot embryo, but for me, I think you need to find a plot system that works for you. And my intention with this YouTube channel is to go through different plot systems, you know, a grid system, card systems, that sort of thing, and the embryo itself, to find out what works for me. And I'm going to document that here on my writing channel. And the fourth thing she says to have is a notebook, where you just, it's like a download book, a brainstorming book, anything that you can think of, questions you want to ask, things you need to research, all goes in there. And it's like a scribble book almost. And then from there you take the information from your scribble book and you put it into your bullet journal. And that's what Rachel Stevens says. I'm going to do something slightly different. I'm actually going to use a traveller's notebook, or bullet journals in there. I've got some little inserts in there, you know, one for character, one for world building, that sort of thing. And I'm gonna show you this now. Okay, so as I was saying, let me show you what tools I'm going to use for NaNoWriMo. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the manuscript itself. Now, I spend all day at a computer, so therefore I'm actually going to handwrite my novel at the moment. And there are a few packages that allow you to transfer handwritten text into typed text, but then you have to format it, which isn't a problem. I personally need to get words down on paper, which is the whole idea of doing NaNoWriMo this year. Now, I know that the only time I'm going to be able to do that is when my son goes to bed. I have about a 20-minute window while he settles himself down and goes to sleep, and all of those sort of things. So handwriting that's the time I'm setting aside every day to write. So handwrite to go the way I'm going. So I'm using a hardback A4 book, which is lined, it's ring bound, and so I'm going to write in that. So that's my manuscript. Then Rachel Stevens said about a bullet journal. So in a traveller's notebook, I've set up a bullet journal and some other inserts. So there's 3 inserts. They're not actually filled in at the moment. By the time the 1st of November starts, I should have more information. So the idea is I'm going to put character in one, plot notes maybe in another, world definitely in another. I've still got to work out exactly what I'm doing in each one. And then I have my bullet journal. I'm actually using a notebook which is a GLP Creations, the author, and it's actually Tomoe River paper which I had off Amazon, and it's 68 gram, 192 pages. I've then stuck a bit of paper in the front just to make it look a bit pretty. And I actually started this bullet journal back in June. I started making a few notes, like Rachel Stevens suggested, about how my writing was going, things that I needed to do, a task list type thing. And then each month as I've gone along, I've sort of put for Camp NaNoWriMo in July, I sort of made some notes, and there's not much in here. But for Preptober, I've actually put my daily tracker, things I wanted to do, things I have managed to do, and a list of goals. And then for Nano in November, I've got the idea for a game board off Sarah Cannon. So I've drawn out my 30 squares of a game board. I've written 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 words, and underneath that, once I decide exactly what my reward's going to be for writing that amount of words, I'm going to write it underneath. And then every day I will go along and fill this in with my word count. I've also written it as a reminder, a minimum of 300 words per day written at bedtime. I reckon 300 words is going to be about 2.5 A4 pages. If I can get more done, then I will, but that's the minimum. I think for this, my goal is set the minimum. If I do more, there's a bonus, and I will set the time aside at bedtime to do it. Now if I get up really early and the house is quiet and I can crank off another 300 words or 1,000 words because I have an hour or what, 2 sprints, whatever, then that's what I'm going to try and do as well. I've also drawn out a month, and I've written in things that are happening during the day that will stop me doing that extra writing. So I've already written in the minimum of the 300 words, 2,500 words for the first week. And then on Tuesday, because there's nothing else apart from work and family life and school and all those sort of things that will stop me writing, I've actually put 600 words because I should be able to get 2 sessions in because there's nothing else stopping me. And then the rest of the month I haven't actually filled in at this point. And what I intend to do is see how the first week goes, and then I can then fill in the second week, and then once the second week has happened, I can then set the goals for the third week, with the overall idea of doing 30,000. Now I know you go, no, but NaNoWriMo is 50. I know. I personally, with my work schedule, my home schedule, all the things that are happening, don't think I'm going to make 50,000. So my goal is 30,000. The aim of NaNoWriMo is to sit down and write words for my novel, not to hit the goal, as long as I have a goal. So that's the bullet journal. That's booklets that are going to hold character information and that sort of thing. So bullet journal, manuscript. The workbook that Rachel Stevens has also mentioned, I started off with this one, which is just a notebook I really didn't like very much, but was quite happy to throw a load of information in. I need to go through this, and I need to pull out the information to put into these new booklets here. Some of them will be relevant, some of them won't. I don't know till I go through it. What I also have then are the nano cards out of the pack that I showed you last week, and each day, because there's 4 weeks and there's 1 card per day, I'm going to have a look through that and see what that says, and if there's any tasks or activities to do, I will do those at the bedtime session. And then this is a booklet that I have a video on my Craft Orchard YouTube channel, which is my other channel, all about planners and planning and that sort of thing, where I set this up as a daily planner. Well, I'm actually going to use this as scene cards. So I'm going to sit down this week and I'm going to write out a card for each scene following a plot grid type of system. And on these little cards I've got like a master list. So for instance, where's the first card? So for instance, Act 1, the very first card would be the introduction to the character. The second chapter will be the inciting incident, and then the third chapter would be for the fallout from the incident, and then continue down. And so this is like my master cards. So I go, right, for this scene card here needs to be this, and then on there I'll actually write it for the novel that I'm writing. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some ideas. Okay then, I hope you enjoyed having a look at what planning books and journals I'm going to be using, which I'm using now and I'm going to use next month. And I hope to see you next week, when I'm going to give you a bit more of an update on and definite plans for NaNoWriMo, because it's coming fast. We've only got a week and a bit before it starts, and half terms next week as well, so not much time to sit and do my thinking. So it's lovely to see you, and I'll see you next time.